talk to us and encourage us and inspire us. Situmkaribishe kwa makofi.
Asante sana our director, Bwana John, our school principal and my brother Bwana Makamu, my good brother John, we went to the same university, and also your brothers who are here today, our partners in this institution, Casper, Monse, Patrick, John, and all the other people who support this institution. The team from Athletics Kenya, and all the other guests, including the main guests of today who are the learners of Kenswed School. Good afternoon. Kenswed oye. Kenswed oye. I am sure we all know that Kenswed stands for Kenya and Sweden. Yes. And therefore I can see through here in your faces that you are Kenyans, but you are also very good friends of Sweden. Yes. And sijui kwa nini naona like pia nyinyi mnataka mtembee Sweden. Sio? Naona hivyo nikiwaangalia uso. And I'm sure our guests are listening and somebody is interpreting to them that pia nyinyi mngetaka mtembee. I want to take this opportunity to really give a lot of gratitude to Isaac and your brothers. Tafadhali simameni. Isaac, John, and your brothers. Mnaona mnakaa haraka hivyo chini. Hata mkiangalia uso, si mnaona is the same people? Yani is a photocopy of the other one. I want to really appreciate what you are doing. And I have interacted with many people in Kenya. I want to say that you are a very blessed family. To see brothers who have a common goal, who hold each other's hands, I can only wish you blessings to do much more for the community. As we all know, Isaac is an athlete. And it's out of that he made friends who held his hearts, and they came up together with this vision, which we are all now beneficiaries of. And if we get many Kenyans doing what Isaac did, I am sure we'll create many more opportunities for Kenyans who deserve those opportunities. I also want to thank them for this program, not just aiming for those who have the means, but also seeking to help those people who really deserve opportunities and who left to themselves and their families could never have gotten an opportunity like the one you have today. I also want to thank you all the learners, because you may have the opportunity, but it takes a qualified person, and it also takes a willing person for that opportunity to shape a person into who you are being shaped here at Kenswed. So even you umejitolea, ukatoka kwenu, na ukaangalia nje to look for opportunities. And I am glad that we are all doing our best to take advantage of this opportunity that has been granted to us. I have a few things to say. One is that all of us here, those who are seated on this side and those of us who are on this other side, we share we share a common history. Where we have come from is the same. Our backgrounds are more or less the same. Maybe yours are even better. So when you come here at Kenswed, you have to keep constantly knowing that the many people you see talking to you, including myself here today, we are not talking to you because we are from better places. We are talking to you because those places, the way they were, shaped us to become who we are today. And I'm here to tell you that in the next few years to come, we want the alumni of Kenswed, they are the ones who will be called to motivate the then Kenswed learners. Because I am sure your destinies, your futures are even brighter. Just like many of you, and here they are learners from Kiharu. Tafadhali wasimame kwa sababu hao ndio wadosi wangu for anyone from Kiharu. Please, the others clap for them because coming from Kiharu is a tick. So karibuni sana, tafadhali ketini. So I am here to just tell you, and I hope tunasikizana hata kama mnachomeka na jua. Nimewasimamisha because they went to the same primary schools I went to, in terms of the nature of those schools. We come from the same families like many of you here, who are being sponsored, who are being paid for to come and get education from here. I gave my story the other day somewhere I was invited. In class 6, I had my first shop. Not because of entrepreneurship, the one we know today, but because I was trying to run away from poverty. And I was thinking, nikiweka duka nikiwa class 6, by the time I'm class 8, I have a chain of dukas. And maybe by the time I am 14 years old or 15, I thought I would be an owner of a supermarket. Because many young people, we have very innocent dreams. I also had those kind of innocent dreams. But of course, trying to mix my duka, my small kiosk, and education, they seemed not to blend with each other very well. And therefore, I had to give up entrepreneurship by then and focus on education. High school, I got an opportunity to attend a very good school in our locality called Kajiado Boys. It's actually now a national school. But I couldn't, because of the same reasons that you are here. That even at our home, it was not possible for me to go to Kajiado because of school fees. And of course, going through Kiabugi, I went to a neighboring school called Kiabugi. Going through Kiabugi again, went to university. Of course, in high school, I had to do a lot of many things to also raise school fees and also to get my pocket money. Making shoes in high school. Like today now here, I was looking for whose shoe is not very well kept, because that was a business idea for me back then. Selling canteen, I have seen in the Tibet down there that there is a canteen. In our high school, it used to be run by clubs. I hope here you have clubs. Yes. Science club. By that time, we had science club, we had drama club, we had debating club. If you don't have a debating club, start one today. It's there. Very good. And so what I did is that because those clubs would run canteens to get money to run the clubs, and we could buy mikate more than the ones that belongs to the club, of course, to sell to get extra money. So I made sure I vied to be an official to almost all the clubs, including drama club. Na munaona hata mimi si comedian. And because my discipline was not very good by then in high school, and I belonged to our home, we are ACK. So ACK, you join CU in school. Because CU people knew I'm not very, very good in discipline. Not that I was very bad, but I was not very good. So I joined CA, where maybe they don't know me very well. Just to make sure I am elected to as many clubs as possible. And of course, over holiday, nauza mituba, na makaa. Very good. I can see somebody listen to that story. I used to choma makaa, literally. And I respect those people who burn makaa. I could burn makaa, the following day napata imezimika. Then you start the process all over again. Vile unachoma makaa, unawekelea udogo juu, hiyo udogo ikiliki iende kwa kuni, huwa ina moto inazimika. So it becomes a very difficult and tedious process. Went to university, that is KU, after that. And by the way, in Kiabugi, I was the only boy, the only student really, who made it to university during our year. Went to KU, did businesses also there, engaged in student politics. Because all these things I'm telling you, because when you join an institution of learning, like the way you are here at Kenswed, you are not here to pass time. You are here to be transformed. I have gone to the TVET down there, the Technical Institute, and I went to the hospitality area where they are cooking. When you see a cake being made in that kitchen, it is a transformation of wheat and other ingredients. Here in school, you have to give yourself up to be transformed into a product that you should be in the next 4 years. So when I joined KU, I wanted to come out as a product who would thrive in business, a product who would thrive in leadership. And that is why I was single-minded sure that I wanted to engage in student politics and also to engage in business. And of course, after that, after graduating, and I'm saying this because I've heard from your principal, in my graduation, my mother came, of course, with the other parents. All the people who are the age of our parents are our parents. So they came. And because I was a graduate, I talked last. I hosted them for lunch at a place called Kenyatta University Conference Center, just huko ndani ya KU. So when it was my chance to talk, and my mother had come, his son was graduating, the only son, so very proud. You know, our parents always are proud when they tell others, my son works with Barclays Bank, my son works with Safaricom, my son works with Microsoft. So when I was given a chance to talk, I told them to go pray for me not to get a job. Then my mother was wondering, you mtu nimsomeshe yu alafu anasema kazi hataki. Because it's the joy of every parent. Wakienda kanisa, anasema my son works with Toyota Kenya. My son works with there and here and the other place. Because I knew if I got into employment, I was likely to be distracted, yes, and also veer off from what I was really aiming. So I gave up that. It was very difficult, of course. You've just graduated. Your former classmates, wanakwambia, I'm working at PwC. The other ones at Deloitte. The other ones in very big companies. But I decided, whatever it may, I am going to focus on entrepreneurship. And that journey now up to where we are today. So when you are here for a transformation. And that transformation is you as Omondi, who is here. You as Fatma, who is here. You as Mwangi, who is here. You as Wafula, who is here. The title that is known to you at home is Omondi, yule mama yake anatuzianga omena pale. You are here to transform even the title of your parent. For in future people to say, huyu ndiye mama Omondi, they will no longer remember yule anatuzia omena. They will now say, huyu ni mama Omondi, yule Omondi mwenye ni MP wa hiyo area. Unatoka. Hapana, hata nyinyi mnachomeka, kaa chini na mamvuli. Hata nyinyi mnachomeka, najua hata mimi nichomeka kidogo. Lakini asante sana. Thank you very much. Kuja hata naona wewe ni mtu mzuri. Unajua ni gapi hiyo? Gapi? Waonyeshe maybe wanajua. Sawa, kaa chini. Thank you very much. Naona mtu wako na mamvuli pale ati anakuja tena. No, I'm okay. Kwa sababu hata nyinyi mnachomeka, hata mimi nichomeke kiasi. So nilikuwa nimefikisha wapi? Msikuwe tu mnaniangalia tu hivi. Eh? Pass, very good. You even change the title of your mother. Watakuwa wanasema yule Omondi, mbuge wa hapa Nyando. Umeshika hiyo maneno? Huyo ni mama Muthoni, yule daktari mkubwa wa pale hospitali, hata ni yake mwenyewe. Very good. I think anaitwa Muthoni huyo. And you are here to get transformed. Always underline that. You are not here to pass time. Ati masaa tu unaangalia masaa iishe na matime iishe na your age is also progressing. That is what you came here for. That's not what you came here for. You came here to be transformed. In the next 4 years, you're a better product. In which way? Of course, number one is good grades. Because I want to tell you, going to an institution of higher learning, even if you are just there doing nothing, you are better off than a person who never went there. So you must aim, of course, all of us here, to join universities. And we have the capacity. Because everyone here at Kenswed are people who already performed very well in their primary school. After you get good grades, always know that today's world, something called character is very important. Now character is encompassing many things. As you aim good grades, aim to be a very well polished person when it comes to emotional intelligence. Be a person who have a well-grounded emotional intelligence. Be a person whose character is rhyming with today's economy. And you know, nowadays, there is nothing much to gain with being dishonest, for example. There is nothing much to gain by being mischievous. There is much more to gain with being a person who is responsible, who can be trusted, and a person, of course, ambaye akiwachiwa organization, watu hawana tubojoto. Become a person all-rounded in your character, in everything. And of course, all of us here, I asked one of your student leaders. She told me she wants to become a HR manager. And I was asking her, why a HR manager? HR managers report to CEOs. You're at Kenswed. Some of you have even boarded airplanes here, have gone out of the country. I know that. Some from Kiharu have already done that. Wewe mtu already anaenda na ndege ukiwa high school and you are aiming to become a HR manager. Yes, HR manager is a good title, but why not aim to become a CEO? Hapo kwa HR manager ikuwe ni kupitia ukipanda juu. Are you getting? I hope there is no one here who is aiming just to become a pilot. You should aim to become a pilot of your helicopter and to become a pilot of a fleet you own. And that is what you are learning here at Kenswed. Entrepreneurship is at the core of what you are learning. So become well-grounded, not just academically, in terms of character, in terms of temperament, in terms of emotional intelligence. Become all well-rounded. And lastly, on that front, it is never in your best interest to engage in, allow me to call them stupid things. Anyone here at Kenswed who would even imagine of engaging, for example, in substance abuse is a person who is not even fair to their parents. There are things that should never even come close to your mind. Ati kuoja hii, kuoja ile. I can tell you those things are just a highway to ruin. And you are not here for that. You are here for that not very well straight path, but that very narrow path to success. That's what you are here for. And that is why you are chosen to come here. That's why you are few who are here. And that is why you have that opportunity, you, as you seated here. Now, your school curriculum has everything to do with entrepreneurship. I just want to rubber stamp that and reinforce that our economy, Kenya, the economy of Africa, will not be shaped by those of us who only come to institutions of learning with a single mind of being employed. Not many Kenyans have the opportunity to come to Kenswed. Not many Kenyans have the opportunity to go to university where you are going. Therefore, if you are part of the cream and you are going there to look for jobs, who will create jobs for all the others who don't have the opportunities that you have? Where will these jobs come from? Jobs cannot be grown like maize or mangoes. Jobs have to be created by people. If it is not you here who will create those jobs, then who is that person who is going to create a job for anyone? That at Kenswed, you already are trained to be an entrepreneur. But you are already now fashioning yourself on writing a CV. In fact, I would be happy if none of you here engage in any business of writing a CV. You will be in a business of writing business proposals and plans. Economies across the world, including the US, including Sweden, including China, those economies have now one of the highest per capita billionaires in the world. They didn't become billionaires by working in other people's farms. They became so, first of all, by creating their own companies, employing themselves first, creating opportunities for others, and in doing that, also impacting their own economies. And when you impact your own economy upwards, what then happens is that your own business also is catapulted upwards. Anyone doing business in Kenya, let's say manufacturing of paint, and anyone manufacturing paint in China, the one in China has customers with higher purchasing power than the one in Kenya. Because when the economy of China gets transformed, even your own business gets transformed. And therefore, I'm calling you here today, requesting that please don't go through the years at Kenswed with all the facilitation there is to shape you as an entrepreneur, for you to also join in into the many people who are looking for jobs. Be on the other side of the spectrum, people who are creating those opportunities for themselves and others. Last 2 points. One of you here asked me to kipanda hapa, what motivates you? One, like many of you here, you share our stories. Our first obligation when I was coming out of Gadukenya village was to run away from poverty with the highest possible speed. Run away from poverty with the highest possible speed. I am sure many of you here share that. That one of the great motivations you should have is that you can't come out of here and your institution of learning and you go back to the same kind of families we came from. We want to go back to better places. Not the madhouse, but a more comfortable house. We want to upgrade the lifestyles of ourselves and our parents and the people around us. So that's one motivation. That my father was a carpenter in Kiadutu slums in Thika. Nilikuwa natembelea my father. Nikiwa ndani ya nyumba, I could see everything that is happening outside. Na sio kioo ya nyumba. Ni ventilation, natural ventilations. Mianya ilikuwa kwa hiyo nyumba. So, that was one. After you now move higher a little bit, your dream must change now, because you've already almost sure you are running away from poverty and you have put a good buffer. You must go to impact. As you do this and the other thing, looking at impact. Impact you are creating for others, like what Isaac is doing here today. He had enough money to live a comfortable life here in Kenya and elsewhere, but he's carrying the burden for all of us here. We must also replicate that in our areas. And here at Kenswed, very lastly, I think I'm having very many lasts. This should be the very last. There is something that is very motivating from your principal and from Isaac. That you already have a program at Kenswed to grant students and learners here with seed capital for their ideas and businesses. I have not seen anything of such a nature happening anywhere else in Kenya. Listen to me. Do you know Facebook, all of you here? Let me see by a show of hands. You know Facebook? How many other tech companies do you know? Do you know Apple? Ile ya simu. And all the others. Many are from the US. Now, Stanford University back then, let's say 50 or 60 years ago, Stanford University allocated part of the university land to startups, companies that wanted, ideas that wanted to transform themselves into companies. Many of the US companies you know are either from Stanford graduates or from Stanford dropouts. And of course now that went on to other universities like Harvard and the rest. Because the university consciously created a place for people to nurture their business ideas. Instead of having a hall where people could be trained on how to write very good CVs, they did the other way around. Instead of calling people to talk to students on writing a very good appearing CVs, they allocated land, they allocated resources, so that the ideas of the students at Stanford and the neighboring areas would become owners of big companies. And the US tech revolution, the one that we know today, is an intersection of three things, which you are all beneficiaries of. One was a sponsorship program, which was called STEM in the US back then, where the US would go around the world and they could sponsor very high people with high IQ and good performance in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. They could actually get visas and entry to US Ivy League universities. That's one. The second thing is funding from Wall Street and other areas. Funding. Yes, you have an idea. You are well grounded in STEM, so you are a bright person. So, on the other side, there is now funding. Wall Street ni kama area ya mabanks na pesa, US. But the other intersection is actually Stanford University itself as an institution, where you have a university feeding into in terms of knowledge, and then there is an immigration policy of getting people who are gifted in STEM, but on the other side, there is another intersection of capital. You are at Kenswed already. This is already your Stanford University. You have funding being arranged by the school itself. What more do you need? There is no other Kenyan with the kind of opportunity you have, because Wall Street has gotten you here. You're already at Stanford, and through the program that Stanford runs is already the STEM kind of a program where they are fetching students from every villages in Kenya to come here at Kenswed. That there, for all the 47 counties in Kenya are represented in this institution. There is no other place with that kind of an advantage. And that is why you see even the US as an economy is built actually by immigrants out of that kind of initiatives. If you look even at the current CEOs of big companies in the US, the current CEO of Microsoft is actually Indian. Went to the US when he was already an adult. The current CEO of Alphabet, what we call Google, is also an Indian founders of big corporations, like even the richest person in the world, people say he is American. He is South African, actually, with mother from Canada. The father was the one from the US. The same person is also invented a company like PayPal. Look at a person like the founder of Apple, the one who is known as Steve Jobs. The father was actually from Syria. So he's Syrian. From Syria, the father. So what I'm trying to say is that the advantages those people got in the US has been brought to you here at Kenswed. And here, therefore, I'm talking to future billionaires, not millionaires. Yes. And if you don't believe that, today after this meeting, go to Isaac, our director, tell him, please get another person for my slot at Kenswed. Because here we must nurture billionaires. Is there anyone with that? So even as you seek to become a doctor, if you want to become a tech person, your end goal must be creating a company, and a company that has already the very good environment with our founders, with our partners, who can make these companies become something in the future. And the more the reason, the government now and the government in the future, all the time, we must always know that the youth of this country, the youth, is both the foundation and the future of our economy. And for us to always constantly know, the government all the time must constantly invest in education. And we must never see the kind of circus we keep seeing. There is free basic education, there is no free basic education. There are things that Kenya must be ahead of. We must also give STEM, science, technology, engineering, and the mathematics. We must give it a correct base and a strong base in our institutions of higher learning and also in our basic education. Because the current economy of the world is based on manufacturing, which is high-tech, but also on tech. Those two things. Not just manufacturing of value addition, but a higher grade of manufacturing, which you can only do when there is enough investment from the base. And also, we must avoid starting programs, then we backtrack. For example, in Kenya, we have been having a program of having aggregation centers and industrial centers. But they just come as a single thought from a person, then in 2 years' time, the focus has changed. So we keep on investing government money in areas which become white elephant. So we must keep on focusing on specific programs which are focusing on specific output and carry through up to the end. So that we keep on investing government money in areas that we can see output, but also in areas that pull the economy from all sides in one direction, which direction is progress, which direction is to move forward, not backwards. Otherwise, nimefurahi sana kuwa hapa Kenswed. That we are Kenyan, but also we are friends of Sweden. And that is what our name is. And we can continue to collaborate, of course, through the help of our partners, because this is a very, very, very great initiative. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And please, after today, in your box, which you open every day, I want you to write a karatasi and stamp it hapa unafungua box unaona every day. Write the things you want to achieve in the next 20 years. The next 20 years, you'll be studying where we are studying. So you must write the things you want to achieve. You must write the title you want to have. Yes, Mr. and Miss and the rest, but there is that title. You can write a billionaire, you can write whatever you want to write, but have a title where you are moving towards. Are we together? And you must seek from today that your parents and your guardians have done so much for you to be where you are today. You must from today give yourself a name and a goal that you'll never embarrass them. That whatever you are doing here, before you do something, always flash back your mind and see your parent and see your guardian. And if they are looking at you, ask yourself always whether you'd proceed to do that which you want to do. So that we also guard ourselves from areas that are slippery, that could take away the dreams that we are pursuing here. Otherwise, I thank you, I wish you God's blessings, and may you achieve all your dreams. And your principal asked many things. We'll be talking to your principal to see where we can support. He talked about computers. He talked about change of menu, even if it's today. So hiyo ya computer tutaongea na Isaac na John. Lakini hiyo ya naona hii ya menu tusiairishe. Ifanyike saa hii. Mtajipanga what to do Mimi nitawacha kitu kidogo hapa. Where is your principal? No, huyu president. Huyu amewatetea sana. Amewatetea, ameuliza everything. So we'll do what we can't postpone, but the rest I'm sure we'll talk with your. So hii utachange menu kiasi. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much for that speech. Our Honorable MP from Kiharu, we are very grateful that you're able to come here. I think it's something that we've waited for, and we thank God that you are here today. Our students, historians in the house. Yeah, I think we've learned something. Some of us would like to be politicians, and now not just a politician, but a unique. Yeah, so we thank God for you. We'd like to thank all of us for representing us. Thank you for the people that you've come with. It is a great honor to have you in Kenswed. As much as we are not part of your area, but we thank God that you're able to come and talk to our students. I hope we are inspired. Yeah, and I believe you're going to become the who that you want to be in life. So thank you very much. For other visitors that also came, the brothers to Isaac, our principal, and all of us, I may not be able to mention all our names, but we're very happy. Our collaboration team, Casper and group, we are very happy. I know you had not planned this, but we thank you that you were able to even wait for the long speeches and all that so that we can be here. So we are very grateful for that. Our students are very good audience. Yeah, we are very good. We are very happy for you. And I believe we've learned something. As much as I've not talked about constitutional changes that we are to talk about today, this is enough. This is good. So I believe we are inspired, not just for today. It was not a motivation talk. It was something to continue, okay? So this is something that will take us far, and I believe we'll get there. So may God bless us. I don't have much to say. God bless you.
Thank you, Madam Esther, for the vote of thanks. She has been precise. There's nothing much that can be said after our guest has really oozed wisdom. How I wish half of our leaders have the visions such leaders carry. So at this point, I'll just say thank you so much for being the good student you've always been. Yes. That is good. So I will welcome one of our students to lead us in a word of prayer as we close the event. So Eric, lead us in a short prayer. Our honorable guest, the director, and all other guests, and my fellow student, good evening. Let us bow down for the prayer. Our dear Father, we come before you. We do glorify your name. We do honor your name, Jehovah. Thank you, Jehovah, for gracing this event, Jehovah. It is not by your might, but it is by you, Jehovah. You are the one who dictates our future, Jehovah. We thank you. We glorify your name. In the name of Jesus. Thank you, Father, for our facilitators. Thank you, Father, for leaving our MP, Jehovah, who is in here, Jehovah. We glorify your name for him. My Father, thank you, Jehovah, for our dreams, Jehovah.